Hey guys, thanks for going on this nerd journey with me. If you want your episodes ad-free, go to makemeanerd.com/join and hit that button.
Hooked on you, baby, you're golden. Time moves, I never noticed. Just can't get enough. Got me wonderstruck.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Make Me a Nerd. I'm Mandy Kaplan, a mainstream mom whose mission it is to explore the world of nerd culture that I've been missing out on and afraid of my whole life. If you are new to this podcast, welcome aboard. The basic premise is easy. My whole life, have said I don't get things like Dungeons and Dragons or Star Wars or Star Trek. And now that I'm an old lady, my friends and my wonderfully nerdy community of colleagues are saying, hey, get with it. This stuff is awesome. And you know what? I've been at this a year and a half, and I agree. So I have a nerd update before I start my podcast. I did an episode very recently about Prince with one of today's guests, Kyle Olson, and my producer extraordinaire, Pete Wright. And they told me that Prince was on the Muppets and I should check it out. And I did. I just want people to know sometimes on the podcast when I say, oh, I'll watch that. Sometimes I really do. And it was so charming. Prince, Kyle, I'll allow you to speak, Kyle. I see you biting your tongue. Thank you. But
oh man, it's hard to hold your breath through all that.
But Prince was so childlike and innocent and adorable on the Muppets. And I really enjoyed it. So I thank you.
That makes me very happy. Muppets Tonight is one of those sort of lost pieces of Muppet lore because it's not easily available anymore. But that was at the time when there was not a lot of Muppet stuff on there. And so the fact that I got to have a show and they got to have all these people on, and then Prince being one of them, it was sort of like those are when a couple of my nerd spheres overlapped, and I was like ecstatic.
Of course. Let's bring in one of our all-time favorite guests. She's back, everybody, from the, totally awesome 80s movie podcast.
Most
excellent. Shit, Krissy, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
I'm the least excellent. And the other podcast, Gank That Drank, and she is maybe the most frequent guest on Make Me a Nerd and my favorite, Krissy Lenz.
Yay! I'm so happy to be back. I just love nerding out with you, Mandy.
I can't get enough. And Kyle Olson, Crafting Chaos, correct?
That is correct. I am also here. I listen to both of you on the shows all the time, and so I'm just happy to, I might just sit quietly because I'm so used to just listening to the two of you go back and forth.
That would be delightful. Let's just make Kyle sit there quietly. That's hilarious.
Front row seat. I get to be the first audience member. Hooray!
Yeah. Yay!
So this came about when Krissy was last on my podcast, and she mentioned Dr. Horrible. What were we talking about that Dr. Horrible came out?
Firefly.
That
nice.
Makes sense. Okay, Joss Whedon, Nathan Fillion, that's the connection.
I'm on a Firefly rewatch right now, so that's...
Ooh, yay.
Yeah. So good, right? So please, everybody go back and listen. That was a Serenity Firefly episode with Krissy Lenz. And when somehow Dr. Horrible came up and I said, I've never seen it. And her little eyes lit up and I knew this had to happen and happen fast. So Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, when did this come out?
This was 2008, July of 2008.
And how did you guys know about it? Because I remember when it came out, because it was a musical theater thing, people were telling me about it. And this was so long ago, I was like, what do you mean it's on the computer? Like, for me, It wasn't, it didn't make sense. It wasn't in the movie theater and it wasn't on stage. I didn't get it. So how did you discover this?
A friend told me about it and was like, are you watching Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog? And I was like, I don't know what that means. I recognize all those words individually, but together I'm confused. And it was on Hulu. And that was back in the day where you had to get someone who had Hulu to invite you to Hulu.
I don't even know about these days.
Yeah, it was like the proto era. So my friend Tom Hart invited me to Hulu and linked me to Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog, and I was hooked. I watched them when they dropped, and was so excited because I just fell in love with it immediately.
But there are only the 3 acts, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Oh my God. When you said I watched them as they dropped, I was like, there are more episodes and I didn't see them. Okay.
Yeah, they did
No,
come
just
out
the 3.
episodically. So
Okay.
like when they originally came out, like they did Act 1, Act 2, Act 3 as individual sort of episodes.
Yeah. And so when was that when it came out, Krissy, or was that like a couple of years later?
I think
No,
it
it was
later.
when it. I think it was when it was like coming
So I
out.
thought it was iTunes exclusive first, and then it made the way to streaming.
Oh, was
later.
it?
But yeah, but
I may
probably,
be
you know, probably
misremembering. Yeah.
maybe within that year, I'm sure.
So Kyle, I'm sure you were first to it.
Probably,
Like,
yeah.
Sleeping outside a proverbial store for no
I did
reason.
pre-order
Just
it
'cause-
and watched it that morning when they finally came out. Yeah, before we sort of go too far, I do want to say that if you go back to the episode that you were kind of tapping on talking about Buffy, I had a big statement about Joss, and I stand by everything that was in there. So I acknowledge that he is a problematic creator. So anything nice we say on here, I take under the guise of monsters can also make art. So I come here not to not to praise, but to bury, or vice versa. But at the time, we didn't know, and so I was deep into the fandom from Buffy. So that was where it started, and I was on We Didn't Ask, I was on The Bronze, like I was part of all of those sort of online communities that sort of built this cult around Joss. So we were all following along with all the things that he did. So everybody was sort of watching and waiting to see what the next thing would be.
Wait, can you back up? What you were on the
Sure.
what and the what and the what?
Oh, Buffy was one of the first online fan communities that sort of came together. I mean, like I know Star Trek, but I'm saying like once
Sure.
the internet hit,
Yeah.
and it was the first a major thing that everybody of a certain age and a certain disposition sort of flocked to and created this entire thing around it enough so that the industry started moving towards what fans were doing. Like it wasn't just we would get on to complain. It was like there actually was a real play. And because it was so new and so open, members of the cast and crew and even Joss Whedon himself would come onto the boards to like talk to people, like
You're
to
kidding.
post stuff.
and what were they
it was
called? You named
well,
them.
We Didn't Ask was one of the major ones, and the
Whedon
Bronze was sort of
Ask? Like-
Whedon-esque. So like Joss
Whedon-esque.
Whedon and
Oh,
Ask, so
okay.
Whedon-esque.
Yeah.
They're all have sadly shut down because
Yes.
the time has passed. But like for
It's
a
just
while there,
him
it was
sitting
a
alone.
very
Yeah.
just
Yeah.
waiting for someone to ask him. He has an AMA, an open AMA, waiting for people to come in. But yeah, for a while there though, that was where we all gathered and we all talked to each other, and we sort of built out this thing. And from that, the Firefly community is a huge community and started the entire movement to try and bring the show back. They're the reason the show got made, which I'm sure you guys discussed a little bit on your episode about that. Like you say, there are clusters of fandom. As you're finding out, there are like fans of different things and different emotions and things about fans. Like browncoats are some of the best fans out there. Supernatural fans are some of the best fans out there and stuff too.
Shout
So
out, Krissy.
right,
Yeah.
I mean, like, but there are a couple of toxic fandoms that you have to be very careful when you stumble into. But all of these have been nothing but love. Like they have been nothing but like-minded people gathering together to talk about this stuff. This is exactly what you're doing here on the show. So I was sort of deep into that when it was coming out. So that's why we all sort of knew, and we were all waiting for like the next thing to come out. And this was the next thing.
As a noob, and I promise we'll get back on our topic, but my Jiminy Glick moment, like what are some of these toxic fandoms you speak of? Ooh.
This is a show about positivity, so we don't want to go into the dark
You're not going to
spaces,
name
but
them?
I'm not going to name them, no.
Okay. Oh, wow.
But
All right.
there's a whole meme thing going around now too of like, if you were in trouble and you saw a person wearing shirts of fandoms, what fandoms would you go to? Like, which one would you go to for help? It's sort of that man or bear thing, except a little more friendly.
Yeah, I love that. Look for a nerd. That's what
Look
you
for a
tell your
nerd, right?
kids. Yeah.
You make so many references, and I'm like, the what? The man or bear? I don't.
Oh, well, I keep drifting into dark territory here. I'm sorry.
What
That was
world
a
do I
much
live in that I
darker
don't know
meme.
anything about anything? That's today's question.
Yeah, it's
So-
sort of like it's if you're and you're in trouble. If you see someone wearing a Star Trek shirt, you're gonna be good. If you see someone wearing a Venom shirt, maybe not. If you see someone wearing a Punisher shirt, you should probably just
Stay
keep
away.
bleeding.
Yeah.
Thank you for the life lesson. Street smarts. Okay. So Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog came out when Joss Whedon was at the height of his Buffy fame. No?
No, this is actually an interesting time in his life because he was in director jail. Are we all familiar with that term?
Yeah.
Okay, so
I know
from
something.
Serenity, hey, I thought you might. You're in the business. So from Serenity had bombed at the box office by Universal Picture standards, and so he was unhirable.
Okay.
So he was in the period where no one was really doing anything. And then the 2007 writer's strike hit. And then no one was making anything. And that was when he decided to gather together all the people that he knew, all the creatives and stuff who were out of work, and make something new and weird without any caveats from any studio or any money coming in from outside where people influenced it. Purely just, this is the creative thing I want to do with my friends during this time when no one could work. And his brothers. Yeah, both brothers. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, so it opens with Neil Patrick Harris, who we will talk about, but I think you should know I think he's perfect in every way, shape, and form, and I love him.
No arguments.
And he is just talking to his camera, doing a vlog, as we used to call it, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he does a monologue about how he wants to be in the evil league of evil. Is that what?
Mm-hmm.
And my first thought was, well, darn it. I wish this opened with a song. It's a musical, and it does not open with a song. But he sells that monologue so well. Did he do it in one take? Do we know?
Yeah, I don't think there's any cuts in it.
Yeah.
So he has a reputation for learning stuff very, very quickly. Like I think when he talked about when he hosted the Tonys, Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote him in a rap during the performance, and he had to learn it in the commercial breaks. And so at the end of the show, he did a brand new Lin-Manuel Miranda rap from scratch, from memory.
You're making me love him even more, and I thought that was impossible. He is so charming. He's such a theater kid, and so it doesn't surprise me that he would do this in one take. And he's just ranting and raving about how he's not recognized as evil, and he wants to be evil. And I wish that there had been a little more world building. Like, I wish I knew what he was talking about from the top. And that's why I wanted that song. Like, here's who we all are. Here's how we live our lives. And now focus in on Dr. Horrible. Am I alone
like
in
Belle
that?
walking through the town.
Yeah.
Here comes the baker.
Yes.
Here comes Johnny Snow with his freeze ray.
Yes. That's what I wanted. Is that a crazy want?
Well, I sort of love that there's a little bit of mystery. So, like, the head of the evil of evil is called Bad Horse.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end, you learn it's a horse.
Yeah, it's a horse.
And they
It's
actually
a
just
bad
tuck that
horse.
in and keep moving.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah.
I like, even though they sing songs about Bad Horse, and he's always like trying to impress Bad Horse.
The thoroughbred of sin.
Apparently, that was a Ben Edlund thing. Who was a writer on Buffy and Angel and creator of the Tick. That he had been trying to get Bad Horse into the Buffy world for a long time, and they just kept saying no. And this came along, and they're like, "I think it's time for Bad Horse."
It's time for Bad Horse. Yep.
And he pulls up something. What was in the
His
bag?
goo.
It's
It was
goo.
gold
It
bars.
was gold. Yeah.
That
And the
he
death ray melted it.
transported from there to here, his transportation ray. And he's like, it's not about making money, it's about taking money. So he transported them into goo.
And then he takes a whiff. He's like, smells like human. And then he just keeps going. I adore it. And then we meet Simon Helberg, who plays Moist. A controversial word, I know, but I don't mind it. Is everybody okay with the word?
Yeah,
okay
it doesn't
with
bother
it,
me.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, Wolowitz from Big Bang Theory. Fantastic. I love Simon Helberg. So talented. And then we see that Dr. Horrible has a crush on a gal named Penny. And I was wondering if there's any connection to Big Bang Theory. Like, why Penny and Wolowitz are in this. Is there...
This sort of predates that. So
Right.
Simon, I sort of did a sort of a quick head count of everybody, like where they were in their career and stuff too. So Simon Helberg was a working actor. He had just come off of Studio 60, which, now is kind of a punchline, but then was a big deal. And he had done Walk Hard, and he had done a stint on Joey.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
And he was in Old School a little before this, but
yeah. Oh yeah. He has a long, these are like the things he'd done like the last year or two before this. So Big Bang Theory was still a couple years away.
Oh, okay.
But he was a working actor and a real deep resume already by this point. So, and he was a good get.
Yeah.
Like the sidekick.
I was shocked because I was like, oh, wait, the Penny, I think, is what threw me. Penny's an odd name, and
Mm-hmm.
But anywho, we should take a break. Is what we should do. While I gather my thoughts, here we go. Once they go out into the world, it is very clearly a studio lot. They don't make any effort to make it look like a real street in any way. Do you know why? Was that intentional?
It really comes down to money. Like all this stuff was self-financed. So like it was all just straight out of pocket. So they were able to, the studio was empty at the time because they weren't allowed to shoot anything. So they probably got a bargain rate, but they probably used most of the money just renting, I think it was Paramount Studios, like their backlot. So yeah, it was trying to put all their money towards the special effects of what there were.
Yeah, there weren't many. I mean, that's what I like about it. It is made on the cheap, and so much of it is just Neil Patrick Harris being charming and hilarious to camera.
Yes.
And so they got away with quite a bit there. Do you know anything about the music, the writing process, or is it the same people that wrote the Buffy musical?
Pretty much, yeah. And then bringing in I can't remember which of the brothers it was. That is the musical one.
I think Jed.
Jed, and then his wife, Melissa. They're like the three of them are sort of the major contributors to like the actual full music, and I believe Joss has sole writing credit.
So when you saw it, what did you make of it? Because it's really it's tonally different than other stuff. It is funny, but it's not like a laugh out loud rubber chicken kind of humor. It's a subtle humor. Or not subtle, that's the wrong word, but it's more referential humor, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
What were your first impressions of it?
Oh, I loved it. I was immediately obsessed. It's right up my alley as the humor goes. So whether it's subtle or referential, but like all the little jokes just totally pinged for me. And I immediately fell in love. I memorized all the songs. I showed it to my kids. Rocket, my son, who is 15 now, went as Captain Hammer for Halloween when he was like 4. And he would sing the
kitchen gloves. Was he wearing like black kitchen gloves? Yeah.
Yep, exactly that. And I ironed on a little hammer. Luckily, all the costumes are very easy to cosplay.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just a brown shirt with a simple iron on. And it was so fun. So I showed this movie to everyone. Once I got it on DVD, I was like, everyone get over here. We're going to watch the whole thing, and then we're going to watch Commentary the musical. I'm going to force you to do the whole 9 yards.
Now, I did not see the Commentary. There was discussion.
There was.
Of it.
Commentary the musical is so delightful. It's a whole commentary track that's a completely other musical experience.
For Dr. Horrible?
For Dr. Horrible, where they have the whole cast there and they sing a whole song about the writer's strike. They have the woman who is one of the 3 super fans sing a song called $10 Solo. She gave Joss $10 to get a solo. Nathan Fillion sings a song about he's better than Neil Patrick Harris. I'm better than Neil. And it's just such a delightful experience.
So why didn't I get to watch that too?
It's a bonus feature on the DVD.
So I should have gotten those from Tommy Metz, friend of show.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I'll see. I think I have to. there's a weird way of like doing it. You can like upload multiple audio tracks to do a thing, but yeah, the one I think you watched was just straight up YouTube one. So I think and I think it's out of print now, or like, I know the Blu-ray was out of print because I was looking just to see if they ever had put one out, and they did, but now it's like in the hundreds of dollars if you want to get it.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Although I enjoyed it, I do not. I will tell you that when it started, I was a little on the fence about it. And one of my complaints, which is minor, but none of the songs finish, and it was starting to really bug me. Like they just get interrupted, or they get, they start and then they switch to a different person singing a different song. And I was like, what happened to that song? But really towards the very end of Act 1, Nathan Fillion bursts into this project with such a fun, cocky energy. And that's when I was like, I'm on board. I got it. I got the tone. I've got, like, it seemed to find itself for me when he entered.
Yeah, Captain Hammer's there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it goes from like just the sort of, what we would now say maybe incel, like this creepy guy going after this girl who we know he wants to be in the evil league of evil. So they're not a sewing club, and then you have the real hero or whatever shows up, and so now we have a real story. So now it's there's a rival too, and Nathan Fillion is interesting because he's not only is he incredibly charismatic, but not a singer. And he
not
even
a
was
singer.
when Joss called, he was sort of like, "Are you sure you're looking at the right person? Like it's not that I don't sing. Like I don't sing at all." And so they're like, we'll get it. We'll fix it. We'll make it happen." And so they just started. Charisma goes a long way.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so this is. I know I'm a musical theater snob. That's my caveat as I start to vent about the singing.
Mm-hmm.
Neil Patrick Harris can really sing, and
yes,
God love him. He's a musical talent. I was very underwhelmed by Felicia Day. And when you Google her, it says American actress and singer, and I was shocked by that. And then connecting this to the musical episode of Buffy, I understood it and I forgave it for Buffy because you had to use those actors that you've been right. They're already there.
Mm-hmm.
But why does Joss Whedon seek out weak singers for a musical project? Not Neil Patrick, NPH excluded from that question. And I hope I'm not offending, but I didn't think Nathan Fillion and Felicia Day were good singers.
Yeah, I think I think both of them actually would agree with that. I don't think Felicia Day considers herself to be a singer. Like it's sort of on if she, knowing her, she was actually a huge sort of internet celebrity at this point. Mm-hmm. She was doing a show called The Guild, which I think they're in the process of doing a Kickstarter to like do a movie, like a final movie of that right now, and that was huge in the geekosphere. So she was, I think, the one who was like, you don't like, I think when he had this idea of sort of like, I want to do this thing, she's like, you need to put it on the internet. You need to go directly out to the people. You need to go out, you need to put it out. And I think so that she was the one who was like telling him that, as opposed to the guy coming from television, coming from movies, to be like, no, the internet's where it's at. And she would very soon then create Geek and Sundry, which was her own online community, and then which eventually would be sold off, I think, to YouTube, or in some kind of deal. And that's Critical Role comes out of Geek and Sundry. Like this is the whole boom of the internet entertainment comedy thing happening, and so like I think that part of it was per her just being sort of around saying this is what you need to do, and he'd be like, well, then you need to do it too. And so she comes with a lot of fame in addition to she had a big fan base online.
Terrific sense. I had no idea of that.
So she, I mean, on her things, writer, director, and I think she's a trained violinist. Like, I mean, she has. I think she would put singer probably pretty lower on that list of things.
I was saying she has a huge convention presence too. Like Felicia Day goes to a lot of conventions, and she's always a huge hit. So she's got a huge fan base that's very, very loyal to her. And I know that she's not the strongest singer, but I think that she has such a geeky, nerdy charm that for me, I totally forgive. And I I love the songs because they're so karaoke friendly.
Oh, yeah.
So for
Except
someone
they
who's
don't
not
finish.
a singer, yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Well,
Uh,
I don't, there was no knock on her charisma or her acting. I thought she was lovely as Penny, but then she sang, and as I am a singer, and it just offends me to think how many really good singers there are out there. But this is coming from an ignorant, mainstream person who didn't know who Felicia Day was. So now that makes sense. Fun fact, that is not fun at all. As a voiceover artist, there are projects that will say, you need to tell us how many followers you have on all the platforms before we'll listen to your audition. And so that's the genesis of this, is like her getting to do this is like, because she has this fan base who will follow her everywhere. But good for her. It sounds like she almost sounds like a female Bo Burnham, like somebody who discovered new ways of finding audiences.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't, she didn't have that, like Schwab's moment. Like she basically did all this stuff herself. Like she was the one who put all stuff together, gathered people together, organized, had to create budgets and things. I mean, all these things. And so she has always been sort of a more self-reliant person than a lot of people who unfortunately have to wait for a gatekeeper to let them in. She was sort of like, well, there's this whole area here where no one has been yet. And so going into the Wild West. Yeah, exactly. And she's girl boss, I guess. Is that what we're saying now?
yeah. Are we
You
still
have
saying
made-
that?
Are we? I don't know. That's what I'm wondering.
I'd rather not. You have made so many references, Kyle, and most of them are going right over my head because they are either very like new modern things that I'm not aware of, or
I would doubt they're new and modern.
geek
New and
culture.
modern are
But you
two
say
things that have not been
Schwab's.
applied to me.
But you say Schwab's, and I'm like,
Oh.
1930s Hollywood. Thank you. I got it.
Okay. Right, I'll
Lana
try
Turner, was
and
that
adjust
Schwab's
my
drugstore when
references to the
someone's-
1930s.
I really, really appreciate it. I'm not.
She's like
a
the James
topical
Cagney
person.
of her time. No.
Yeah.
So this act ends after a battle with Captain Hammer, and then Neil Patrick Harris gets defeated, but Hammer meets the girl and he walks off, and the whole thing ends with him muttering, balls.
Mm-hmm.
Balls.
It's such a bold, funny choice. That's just like how it ends. Balls. So I went from being dubious to being completely on board. And then this is, I think, where I want to take a break. And then I want to go into detail about my potentially restraining order worthy love of Neil Patrick Harris.
Yay.
After this. So have you guys ever played Box One?
No.
Are you familiar
No.
with Box One?
No.
Kids. He made an escape room. Neil Patrick, my man, Neil Patrick Harris,
Mhm.
made an escape room in a box, and it comes to your house, and it's so clever. I highly recommend it for the whole family. My dear friend and frequent guest Tommy Metz introduced us to it,
Mhm.
and Neil Patrick Harris participates. So you go to these websites, and then he's like, help, here's the deal. And he's talking to you throughout. It is so clever. So I highly recommend Box One. And it was just his brainchild. I think he did it during the pandemic because he thought people deserve fun.
So you just recommended a nerd thing to us.
Whoa.
I did. When your kids were younger, did they read his book series, Magic Misfits?
Yeah, we actually, that's where I met him, is during the book tour. So he actually came out and I got the autograph and stuff too. And he did magic on stage, like for us, because it was, sometimes we have Changing Hands is a big bookstore out here, and they brought him out. But because he's Neil Patrick Harris, they had to rent out an auditorium.
Mm-hmm.
Fantastic.
And then so he did his whole talk about the book, and then he actually did magic on stage. So I was like, wow, I got to see Neil Patrick Harris do a magic trick. This is pretty cool.
He's so good.
I have Neil Patrick Harris playing
Cool.
cards.
Nice.
Oh, for the win. Krissy for the win.
Oh, where can I put them? They say NPH.
I love it. Are those affiliated with the book? Because the book has playing cards on the cover.
Mm-hmm.
They're I don't know. I got them just as a gift, and I keep them in their pack and don't touch them.
And then he opened the
I can't
Tonys.
do magic
Oh,
with
sorry.
them.
No,
I was just going to say, I can't do any magic with them.
no, and they aren't they worth more in the box? I know that.
According to
Of
the
course.
website, they are not. They were just created by him, like and designed by him. So they're not affiliated with the book at all, even though the book does have a lot
Playing
of
cards,
the book
yeah.
series, I should say, has a big card theme to it.
He's just so multifaceted. And then when he does host the Tonys, he's the best host the Tonys have ever had, as far as I'm concerned.
Oh, yeah.
Little old me. But he did that magic trick where he was like on stage, and then 2 seconds later he was out in the back of the house. And I've seen that 15 times, and it blows my mind. He's a very good magician, and he can sing and dance. And I hung out with him in New York City one night when he was doing Rent.
Ooh, nice.
And of course, my friends were like, "Oh, this is Neil." And I was like, "Oh, hey, Neil, nice to meet you." And to me, it was like the most, I'm sure he had the same reaction when he met me. Who are we kidding?
Sure.
But he was so humble, one of us, no ego, no attitude, and it was just cool. We hung out all night, and I was just like, he's Doogie Howser. He could, he doesn't have to slum it with the Broadway wannabes like me, but he was so wonderful. So I just love Neil Patrick Harris. And yet
He's so
I hadn't
great.
seen this.
Yeah.
And he's
I'd say it's
so
I
cute
wish
in
there's
it.
so many of these times he'd done Broadway stuff that I wish they would like release that. This is when the transient nature of Broadway sometimes makes me angry because never getting to see his version of Rent, never getting to see him in Rocky Horror, these are seems like fundamental things that would be, if not, in this world of commerce, I would gladly pay money for said access to
But
things.
then you wouldn't pay money to fly to New York to see it when it's happening.
Yeah, but that's the thing is, I can't now because he's not doing it anymore. So why?
He will. But that's, that is the reason that that Broadway gatekeeps or whatever it is. It's because, and I do the same for my cabaret miscast. People are like, "Oh, I see the videos," and it's like, well, if you're watching videos online, you're not going to come see the show. You're just not,
right?
Because you can see it the next week online. So I don't post.
I don't know. Hamilton would disagree with you. They put out a huge 4K video of that, and yet they're selling out around the country and in the theaters.
Yeah,
it
name
seems
the
like
others.
6 is coming to theaters. Hadestown is coming to a thing, and they're both still on Broadway and both still filling the houses. So I don't know. It gets into another area.
But I do think there's something to be said for leaving stage experiences on stage, and that's a debate for a different day.
Maybe this comes from a person who came from a flyover state who never got a chance to go. And so
Yeah.
But it's interesting though that Neil Patrick Harris, coming off of Doogie and then Harold and Kumar and stuff too, managed to reinvent. And then at this point, he was on How I Met Your Mother. How I Met Your Mother was a hit already while he was shooting this, so he did not need it, which is one of the other points in his favor of career wise, he was doing fine. He was on a major CBS sitcom, as one of many leads, but a name. This was just something that came along that I think he just thought, yeah, sounds like fun, which it's the point in our careers we all wish we could get to, where we could just go, oh yeah, there's this. We don't have to do the marketing about how much time versus to go, oh no, I just want to, that's a fun thing, I'm just going to do that.
Yeah, he seems like a person that is always like, yeah, that sounds like fun, I'll do that. What do I know? I've also listened to audiobooks he narrates simply because he narrated them. I'm just obsessed. Okay. Episode 2 or Act 2. I want more of NPH talking straight to camera. And I love when he is talking and then he interrupts himself or he peters out. He'll just be talking and then and it's over. And it's like, what just happened? His comic timing. And he's not pushing. He's not over the top. He's just this sad, insecure guy who thinks evil will make him happy. And it's just charming.
Yeah, I love the second one starts with him just staring into the camera and you're like, oh no. It's so good. And
beaten up. He's
yeah.
got all the marks on his face from
Mhm.
Yeah.
Captain Hammers.
He's like, and they met, and they're probably going to French kiss.
Yes. Yes. This episode held a lot of, I pulled a lot of quotes from this one. But he also, are you guys fans of Phineas and Ferb? Because there's a lot of Doofenshmirtz in Dr.
Oh, yeah.
Dr.
I can see
Horrible.
that. Yeah.
Right?
Uh-huh.
And who
Good
doesn't?
eye.
Reanimator. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, with the machinery and the
Yeah.
evil grand plans
And the
even
lab
the
coat.
lab coat and the
Yeah.
goggles. I mean, there's
Right. Yeah.
it's pretty close. He references, or does Simon Helberg reference a henchman's union?
Oh, yeah. The Henchmen's Guild.
Yeah. Oh my God. I thought that was so funny. And I often on this show talk about henchmen because I'm fascinated by the concept. And I think it was my Batman Beyond episode. And I have a Godfather episode coming. It's like, who commits to a life of, I'll stand over here. I won't say anything. I won't think my own thoughts. And then if things get violent, I'll jump in.
Right. I have long been working on a try to find, is this a script? Is it a movie? Is it a television show of like that guy? And then whenever you go to like the whatever, like a John Wick thing, there's always like the drug lord's house. And there's always like women in bikinis there. And I'm always like,
Yeah.
why? How? And so that's my thing is like I wanted to have like a love story of like a mall, I guess I don't know if there's a better term, and a henchman like working around this stuff. So like how did she get there? What is her job? Like why are they there? So I'm right with you on that. Obsessed with that henchman. Like why do you go work for the Joker? Like what does this get you?
Right.
Yeah.
What do
You
you
have
get
to
from
wear
it?
that outfit. You got to
Right.
dress like all the others.
Yeah.
Yep. And the idea of a union and the way it's referenced, I didn't write the whole quote down, but it's like, you couldn't even get into the henchman's union and now you want to be like a main bad guy. It's just such a funny concept. Neil Patrick Harris does a full-on Kaiser Sose personality flip when he's with Penny in the laundromat and she's like, oh, my new guy is coming in, and he knows it's Captain Hammer and he tries to like not make eye contact, like, oh, we've never met before, nice to meet you. And he does a full personality flip where he's twitchy and it's so interesting. It's such an interesting choice.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh, look at my wrist. Like he looks down, he's not wearing a watch.
Look at my wrist.
Yeah.
I gotta go.
Uh-huh.
You're driving the spork into your leg. So I am. Hilarious.
Yeah, there are a lot of very quotable moments. And in this scene, Nathan Fillion, he's like, I'm on to you. I know who you are. Right?
Yeah.
And he taunts him that he's going to go take Penny home and show her the hammer. And he goes on and on about the hammer. And he's holding up his fists. And then this is the humor I like. He's like, by the way, the hammer is my penis.
He steps off camera and then like, just like, and then just like, you can, I thought like, oh, I don't know if I was clear about this. And then walks back in just to make sure that you know.
Yeah.
Yep.
I love that.
It's Mel Brooksian in a way, that kind of humor, like really calling it out. And I like when you have a joke and then you beat the joke and then you beat it some more and then it's dead and lifeless and you go ahead and kick it one more time. That's my happy place. And I think this does that well.
To talk about like classic physical humor, the bad horse chorus. Every time like he starts reading the letter and then the cowboys just lean in and they're just standing off to the side of the camera. It's such an old school gag, but God, I love that. Just them leaning in to sing the song of like what he's reading and then you see him reacting to it as they're doing it and then they pop back out again. Yeah, love it.
I hate to keep comparing it to other things. And that's not to take away from it. It's just my mind works that way where if it reminds me of something else that makes me extra happy. And they used to do that on Scrubs with the a cappella group all the time. I don't know if you're a Scrubs fan.
With the blanks. Yeah.
Yeah. And they would just pop in or, and it's a really fun gag. And then he is singing in this, Neil Patrick Harris is for some reason in a big chair like Edith. And he's singing about a failure. I won't be a damn failure. And then he says, I'll give you a shiny new Australia.
I love that. Maybe my favorite line in the whole thing.
Right?
She may cry, but her tears will dry when I hand her the keys to a shiny new Australia. God, I love that.
Simply for the rhyme. There's
Oh, yeah.
no reason, unless I missed something.
No.
Just to rhyme with failure. Oh, so funny.
You got to go for the rhyme. You can't miss out on a rhyme like that. Yeah.
Yep. We are on to Act 3 as far as I know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And we're
so
going to hit it.
We've had our sort of Les Mis moment of Brand New Day, where he is now
Yes.
committed to evil.
Yes.
Yep.
And they frequently throughout this, they do the thing, the end of West Side Story Act 1, where it's, I'm singing my song and I'm coming in over here with the counter melody and then we sing together. They do that a lot in Dr. Horrible.
And
they
I
do
love
it
it
well.
so much. Yeah. I always try and use that as an example in musical improv of how like one person singing doesn't prevent other people from singing. You can come in and sing with them as long as you're singing sort of the same way. And it just weaves and flows and balances in such a nice way that I use this as an example, like force people to watch it and be like, do more of this.
Do you force them to watch Game Changer?
I force them to watch many things, but I don't have to force them to watch Game Changer because they all watch Game Changer.
Okay. Because the improv musical was, breathtaking.
Yeah.
So amazing.
I did an episode of Make Me a Nerd about it with our friend Kyle Olson here.
What?
Yeah. And that really, they are at the top of their game.
So talented.
There's one they did that's they got the improvised Shakespeare company to come in and do it. So they do an entire episode of make up a faux Shakespearean show over the course of it. And those guys, I don't know how their brains work. Like
Is
I
that
watch
like
Krissy
Phoebe
on stage and I'm
Patterson and
amazed
Dan
because I have no idea how she does it. And then I watch these guys and go, I don't even know how. What
it's a
is
kind of
wired
magic
in your head that you can think of an improv, think of a joke, and then rewrite it in Shakespearean dialogue and deliver it in a way that we understand and laugh at.
Right.
Yeah.
Is that they're an Arizona company, the Shakespearean company?
No, they were on Game
Phoebe
Changer.
Patterson and Stephen Kieran and Dan Con.
No, I mean, there might be more than one out there, but this is Ross Bryant. Like he's a frequent person on Game Changer. A bunch of those guys. He brings his company in, like 3 of them, to do an episode of Game Changer.
Gotcha.
And they do an entire Shakespeare show, including the end, which I don't give away. They basically surprise Sam with even more stuff. So that stuff is fascinating to me because my brain does not work like that, and it's awesome to watch it. Like you two, I don't know how you do what you do.
Well, I'm rusty and out of the game, but Krissy Lenz, improv artist extraordinaire.
And teacher.
Well, you've got writer's brain. That's a different brain. Yeah, you're seeing all the strings and pulling all the strings, and I'm just like swatting around, flailing around on the stage.
This is why we make a magical pair, you and me. I want to talk about Act 3, and I want to dive into that. But first, I want to tell everybody that Make Me a Nerd is a production of True Story FM, engineering by the peerless Pete Wright.
Woo!
My theme song is Wonderstruck, but don't kiss his ass. My theme song is
He's
Wonderstruck.
going to be listening to this.
If I'm lucky, by Jane and the Boy. And please, go on Apple Podcasts, leave a 5-star review and write a review. It helps more people find the podcast. That would be wonderful. And you can join the club at makemeanerd.com/join. Hitting that button will get you your episodes ad-free and early, and my eternal gratitude. So let's take a quick break and on to Act 3. Before I talk about Act 3, I want to know, have there ever been stage adaptations, full movies? You mentioned they did release a book. What other ways, you talked about the commentary, the musical, what other ways does this live?
Do you know what a shadowcast is?
I was just going to say shadowcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, say, Krissy, you want to talk about shadowcasts?
So it's sort of like what they do with Rocky Horror Picture Show, if you can imagine that, where they show the movie and then there's a cast of actors acting it out. I've been to a couple different Dr. Horrible Shadowcast events at Comic-Cons around the country. And it's so delightful and fun because, these are just huge fans that are getting up there and putting on their costumes, and they know every word and they know every nuance and every pause, and they're acting it out as you're watching, and the crowd is singing along, and it's so beautiful and such a fun thing to get to participate in.
Fun. And I suppose now any hope of a stage play would not fly because of Joss Whedon being canceled. So now nobody could say, hey, that would make a great live action thing.
Yeah, probably not. At the time, that was all fan run. So and they were, because it was just the tiny little company. I think they created just for this, and I don't think has ever done anything else. Mutant Enemy was the one he did for the television shows, but I can't remember. It was an interesting name that as I was doing my research, I can't recall it right at the moment. But they were really cool, and that they wouldn't go after anyone legally. There's a lot, you'll see a lot of fandom stuff out there, and there's a lot of stuff you won't see ever. And that's because there are legions of lawyers who are ready to pounce on it. So they were cool for a long time and letting people do their own shadow cast and make money and charge admission for these things and put them up and do it. And then one day they weren't. And basically the mandate came down of well, you had your fun. And I think the idea was that they were getting ready to do their own official version. But then it all sort of went away. And so now I don't know what would happen if you tried to do something, but I don't think anybody's really willing to stick their neck out.
Well, I'm not planning anything. I just wanted to know because I think I said something about, Sailor Moon would make a great musical when I did a Sailor Moon episode. And my guest, Johnny Lee Jr., was like, yeah, they've done it.
Yeah, they did.
17 times. And, and I was like, oh, so I'm on to something.
There's a Spirited Away musical that they did as well.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow. Oh, see, I don't know anything. So
No, it's that there's too much to know.
There's too much to know. You can't possibly keep it all in your brain. I don't know how Kyle does it. He's got he's got encyclopedic knowledge of so many things.
It's infinite, this nerddom.
It definitely runs out. There'll be a certain year where we'll go in 2022, and I'll be like, yeah, it's all. It's you talk to me about 93 and earlier, I'm good, okay. But.
Gotcha.
It's a sliding scale.
Yes.
So top of this act, I wrote, "Arg, finish a fucking song. Good God."
Oh.
I just want to hear a whole song. Also, because my producer mind for Miscast, I'm thinking, ooh, this could be great. Oh, it's over. Right?
Yeah.
Ooh, it could be, it got interrupted by a different character. So that's my own bugaboo. Captain Hammer kicks him to the ground, steps on him, and then for no reason is like, and sings this high note.
He's finishing the song.
Oh,
yeah.
I didn't. Oh, so he finally finished the song.
Everyone's a hero in there.
And then that's when he gets frozen. And so then when he gets unfrozen, knocks him down, and he's on, and then finishes his thing. Way, and that's when he flips him off too.
Oh God, it was very funny. I thought it was just a random high note, but that makes more sense. And then, lo and behold, Penny gets shot and killed. And my friend Krissy Lenz and I talked about this in our last episode. I like when leading characters die.
Me too.
It keeps it interesting and you never know what's going to happen. And I was glad they didn't bring her back. It seemed like they might. So sorry, not sorry,
okay, so
Penny.
What was your reaction then? Did you, when they cut to her and she's impaled, were you like, oh no, it's Wash all over again? Or was it, there's a theme going on. Was it a surprise to you, or you're like, oh, like now I understand what the story is?
Yeah, I think it's the latter, and I like that it had high stakes like that. If it was all just silly and nothing really happened and no one was really ever in danger, I don't know that I would have responded as much.
Yeah.
So it just gave it all gravitas.
And it's so beautiful that the last thing she says to him is, "Captain Hammer will save us." Oh, and then his song at the end is so heartbreaking when it ends with, and I won't feel a thing. And then it's just him sitting there. Oh, Oh,
Yeah,
Oh, my heart.
when he's at the party and surrounded by everything and not feeling any of it, and then
Mhm.
they cut back to, and it's just him, small in the frame and alone, and it's echoing back to the first shot that we saw.
Yep.
Like, oh yeah,
And then they show us the headlines. Country mourns what's her name.
yeah.
I mean, it's a statement about society and sensationalism, and all they care
Mhm.
about is what about Captain Hammer? Who cares about
Mhm.
his lady love?
Yeah.
We do see Captain Hammer in therapy, so maybe he's on the
He's
path
getting
of
help.
recovery. Yeah,
Yeah.
He's working on the abs of being kind.
that's right.
the abs of right. that is a great song, and I did put it on my list for miscast. Spoiler alert.
Ah, nice.
And I like that the newscasters burst into the song and join in, and I do love the three psycho fans. What do
Yeah.
they say? We'll do butt stuff.
We'll do the
We'll
weird
do
stuff.
the
weird stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's Melissa. That's one of the songwriters. Is a part of that trio.
Oh, they were very funny. I really liked them. And then we already talked about this, but I wrote, "Bad horse is actually a horse."
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it's only done in a montage where we see it, right?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
at
Yeah,
the
there's,
league
like-
meeting.
In that room is a bunch of the Buffy, Angel, Firefly writers, and also the two people, the newscasters, are both Buffy writer producers. That's Dave Fury and Marty Noxon.
Okay.
Who
And
also did the similar thing in the Buffy musical. They were they got
Yes.
the mustard out guy, and then the one who's trying to get out of the parking ticket.
Yep, I remember. And the ending is too abrupt and too sad for me. Thoughts?
Oh, I
Oh,
love that
interesting.
it's abrupt and sad. Yeah, it just because there was there was talk of a sequel, and
Mhm.
like the cast all wanted to do it, and Joss wanted to do it, but it never happened, and then it all
And everybody's
faded
career
out.
sort of exploded after this, because
Yeah.
after this is the Avengers, is Big Bang Theory, is continuing on How I Met Your Mother, and then Neil Patrick has other side hustles like creating board games and things too. Everybody's, and Felicia has now has a daughter. So she's also, they're all doing really well, which is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
But yeah, unfortunately, there were some comic books they put out. They're not particularly good. I mean, no offense
Oh,
to the
comic
to
books, you said?
art. Yeah, they did some comic books that sort of
Oh, Kyle, I
expanding
asked
the
you.
world. I know, and I remember you
minutes
asked, and I
ago.
haven't mentioned that. They're not. They're fine. They're, it's also, it's hard to do a musical and a comic book. So like
Yeah.
reading the lyrics is a little bit different than actually hearing them being performed. So yeah,
Mm-hmm.
but they're never anything bigger than that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So I love that it just sort of ends,
Mm-hmm.
On a sad
left me-
note.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
He got everything he wanted and lost everything he actually needed.
I know, but even though I don't mind a sad ending usually, I guess because this is such a self-referential comedic piece, I was shocked it actually had that ending,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I inserted my own fart noises at the end.
Oh,
just so
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense.
to keep it light. Yeah. Just to cheer
Good. You
myself
always got to have those at the ready.
Right.
And I do. Any final thoughts about Dr. Horrible's sing-along blog?
We're curious what your final thoughts are on Dr. Horrible Sing-Along blog. You said that you were not a fan of the music in the Buffy musical.
Yes, I liked
Let's
music.
compare and contrast then. How you like this music more?
I very much did. I thought this pushed more, and I think part of that is that the Buffy, again, he was beholden to what had already been established with Buffy. So
Mhm.
he can't do, Australia jokes, and that, but it just wouldn't, a shiny new Australia wouldn't have worked. But I think it really works in this. Tonally, the music matched this. I thought there were just stronger songs in this, and I
Mhm.
really, I think perhaps because with Buffy also, it's like, well, we need a song for this character to sing in this moment, and it was dictated or predestined what had to happen in that episode. And this was
Mhm.
like, what are our strongest songs? What are our strongest moments? And let's explore those and make the best product we can make over here without being beholden to anything. So I thought this was much stronger and much more my humor, and I really liked it.
Awesome.
now I
was so nervous that you wouldn't because you didn't
Yeah, me
like the
too.
Buffy musical. So I was like, oh God.
I
what
like
if
to keep
Mandy hates
everybody
it?
guessing.
Yeah, you do. You keep us on our toes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I also think this had an anchor of a gifted musical theater performer. I don't know if I've mentioned this. I
Yeah.
really like Neil Patrick Harris.
Oh, do you?
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, I do.
Interesting. I'm surprised it didn't come up.
He's
Is
okay.
he in this? Yeah.
But that goes a long way. For Buffy, there was no reliable, like, oh, we're in good hands now. Now I can sit back and relax and really, I mean, Sarah Michelle Gellar did her best, but she wasn't a good singer, and she admitted that. And so this, I felt like I was in much better hands. And Nathan Fillion is such a gifted actor, and he's got such good comic sense that even though he's not a great singer, I bought it. I was okay with. He did fine,
I have my Nathan Fillion meeting story is very small, so it can fit in here at the end. What I had heard him. Just like anything else with the Firefly fandom, like we were all on any word. And so he said that a lot of times people will come up to him and are very much like overwhelmed. So they're like, because they'll see, oh my God, it's Captain Reynolds, like, and so he said, if you see me out and you want to like come up and just say that kind of stuff, and you think all you have to do is come up to me, give me a nod and say, Captain. And and I'll know, and you'll know, and we'll, shake hands and move on. And so I was like, oh, that's really interesting. And so I was at a convention, and he was walking around. And so I was with my friends, and I walked past him, and I just turned to him and I said, Captain. And he said, as you were, and then kept on walking. And all my friends went, oh, what? It was like, that's all I needed. Like, I didn't need to like spend 10 minutes just like gushing about like this and Firefly and even Drive, the show that had just gotten canceled before he got on this. It was just like, yeah, that was it. That was perfect. Like, chef's kiss. Thank you, Nathan Fillion.
What a great moment.
You're a Fillionaire. Okay, guys, plug away. Kyle, where can everybody hear more of you?
I'm on a show called Craft and Chaos, which is for artists of any stripe. We're trying to answer the question, how do you make art when it feels like the world is on fire? And it gets very, very silly. So I'm on that with super producer Pete Wright, who I know is listening to this second after all of us.
You mean the handsome Pete Wright?
Oh, the handsome, yeah. The
glorious
published author, Pete D. Wright,
yes,
author
the
of
genius,
Lattice, available
Pete
now
Wright.
on Amazon. He's on that show along with Ryan Dalton and the other Mandy.
Yes.
Mandy Fabian.
Who shall not be named.
So.
And Krissy.
But I'd say I love 80s movies. Is there any podcast out there that could help me find
it's
what are the
called
best ones?
The Wicked Awesome. No, I know it. Now I know. It's called the Most Excellent 80s Movie Podcast. But I will forget it next time you're on.
That's
Most
okay.
excellent.
It's fun to remind you. Yes, the most excellent 80s movies, which has a Mandy episode coming up in When Harry Met Sally.
I'll have what she's having.
Yep, a good one. And also Gank That Drank, a Supernatural drinking game. If you're a fan of Supernatural, we make up drinking game rules for our favorite episodes for our favorite show, Supernatural. Mandy has also been a guest on that. And the episode Live Free or Twy Hard, it's worth checking out.
Yes, and this is where this mutual love affair began, as you came on my show to introduce me to Supernatural. So
yes. That was so fun.
Of the 13 seasons, where are you at this point? Are you into the
I haven't really kept
3
up
or
with
4?
it.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay.
I mean, she gave me her curated list, and I watched all the ones she told me to watch.
Okay.
Did you?
I hadn't listened to that episode yet. Did you recommend the musical?
Yes, we did. We did season 10. Now I can't think of what it's called. But yeah, the Single Man Tier song was discussed.
Okay. All right. Well, now I have something to add to my podcast list, as maybe some of the listeners do too.
All right. Well, thank you, listeners, and thank you, Kyle and Krissy. I adore you both. I adore all you listeners. And until next time.